ประมาณการทุกนะครับเริ่มจอยแล้วครับ
We're gonna start. Okay. So our Monday morning. Here is still morning here. And there afternoon in Thailand. So I hope everyone enjoyed the weekend. So we are still learning on Brahma Viharas, 4 Brahma Viharas, Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekha. And we so far finished up to Mudita. We haven't completely finished the Mudita, which we will continue today. Before we going into the lesson, anybody wants to share anything? Anybody wants to tell the stories on the Mudita? Related to Mudita? Hankorn, you have a story to tell?
No, I just listen. I start to listen. Correct my to learn to hear and to listen. Learn to listen. The word in the English I understand. Just listen. Clear. Correct. อาจารย์จุติยาโนอ่ะจุติยาโน
ชุติชัยโยชุติชัยโย
จุติชัยโยทิชัยโยจุติชัยโย
ชุติชัยโยชายาตอนบวชครับ
ชุติชัยโย So okay. Niroj, do you have a story? Or Titadam, do you have a story?
No, I'm afraid not.
No homeworks. Lazy, everyone.
Okay, can I, Ajahn?
Okay.
You have.
I'm sort of expert in the telling stories, Jataka stories.
Okay.
Okay, I have one story. When the Lord Buddha was a bodhisattva, and we can find this story in the Suttanta Pitaka, the Jatak tales, called Mahisa Jataka. And actually, in this story, it was quite interesting. The topic we are talking about is Mudita, equanimity. At that time, our Buddha was living in the vihara called the Jethavan temple. And actually, what happened was there was a group of monks outside of the temple, and the group of the monks saw the things happening outside of the temple. There was an elephant, and then what happened was there was one tree and one monkey on the tree. And then monkey came down from the tree and play with an elephant. The elephant was very quiet. He was very kindness. He didn't do anything to that monkey. Even the monkey is jumping here and there, catching his horn, no horn, I mean the tail, and even a monkey put a stool and a urine on the elephant head, in elephant body, even though the elephant was very calm. He have no any anger with that monkey. And then what happened was, and then that very calm and peace elephant went to the another place. And after that, sometimes, and then there was another elephant come again. And this monkey thinks that maybe this elephant also the same. He will not do anything for, not harm for me, not harmful for me. And then what happened was this monkey came down from the tree and again began to play with an elephant, jumping here and there on the body of that elephant, and then pulling the ear of the elephant, tail of the elephant, and then put a stool and the urine on the body of the elephant. And suddenly this elephant is not like the another one, first one. This elephant was very angry with that monkey because of the bad action of that monkey. And then what this elephant do was this elephant used his trunk to catch that elephant and smash on the ground and then kick once again, and then the monkey was dead. And because of this, all the monks were watching that thing, what happened. And then they were very amazed. What happened? Why this happened to this monkey? And then all the monks went to the Dhamma hall and they were talking about this topic. And when they back to the Dhamma hall, actually monks all were talking about this topic, and then Lord Buddha came and saw the groups of monks are gathering and talking something about. So the Lord Buddha asked to those monks that, what are you talking about? And then those monks replied to the Buddha that we were talking about the things what happened outside of our temple, Lord. And then Lord Buddha told to those monks that not only in this time these things happened to that monkey, even in the past life of that monkey already happened this type of things. And when those monks heard that about the past life, and they want to listen what happened in the past life of that monkey, and they requested to the Lord Buddha that please tell us that story, Jataka story. And then Lord Buddha told that Jataka story that once upon a time I born as a ox in the Banaras, and I live in the forest called the Himawanta forest. And I used to live very quiet, peacefully, and collecting the good deeds by collecting the perfection, parami. And what happened was when I was eating the grass and I was going to take a rest under the tree, there was one monkey who was on the tree, and suddenly that monkey came down from the tree and jumped on my body. And then that monkey was very have a very bad habit. He just want to play and jump from here to another place. And then even he put a stool and the urine on my body too. He just play my horn, my tail. Even though I was very quiet, peace, calm, I have a metta on that monkey. I even don't think about to harm to that monkey. I was just observing, and I was just sending my good vibration to him. Not only for a one day, every day when I reach to that place, that monkey do the same thing to me. And then what happened was, there was a tree god, deities, living side by that place. And the god saw all the things, deities saw all the things. And that god have a question to that ox. So he suddenly appeared in front of the bodhisattva ox and then asked that, don't you have any anger with that monkey? Why are you so quiet, calm, and peace? And then Bodhisattva replied to that deities that no, I don't have uh, any anger with that monkey. I don't want to harm to that monkey. And then again he replied that because I was practicing my perfection, parami, equanimity, metta, and khanti, passion. If I do anything to that monkey is very little than me. I'm elder than that monkey, and then it will not good. So I just want to share the metta to him, to that monkey, and I would just want to practice my patient khanti and putting equanimity to that monkey, ubekha, so that I can apply my perfection, collect the good deeds. And after replying to that deity, he just walked away to the another place. And then what happened was, after that, the Bodhisattva didn't came back to that place for a long time. But there was another ox came to that place. And then monkey thought that this was the same ox. He used to play with that ox. And then that monkey suddenly jumped back to that ox. And again, he did the same thing, just like before. He began to play with that ox by pulling and catching the horn of the ox and pulling the tail, and then put a stool and the urine on the back of the ox. And what happened was, this bull was not the same bull. He was very angry. This bull was very angry with that monkey. And suddenly this ox just moved his body very fastly, jumped and moved it very fastly. So the monkey cannot climb the trees, and the monkey was fell down from the back of the ox. And again, this ox used his horn to smash that monkey many times and kicked that monkey for many times. And then this monkey died because of uh, that that ox. And Lord Buddha told that the monkey that born that time come and born again as a monkey in this life, and then the ox, which was bad ox, became new life as an elephant, bad elephant, angry elephant in this life. And the good ox born as a me, Tathagata. So this was the story, that even when the Lord Buddha was born as an ox in the Mahisa Jataka, he was practicing the metta perfection and patience and the ubekha barami at that time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the story. So today we will go on to the Mudita again. So this is the mudita that we were talking about. Mudita, sympathetic joy. So someone's a good karma and rejoice at their action. So that is the okay. So that is the meaning, and we discussed the concept of it last time. So this is about the root coming from mud, soft-heartedness, kindliness, sympathy, appreciation, and attitude is a complementary. That is attitude that is complementary and benevolent. And this Buddhist idea of it is like an inner spring of infinite joy that is available to all regardless of circumstances. Yeah. Then this is we discussed on this topic a little bit more, and we discussed on the opposite of a mudita. As the enemy of a joy is jealousy and envy and greed. And how can you cultivate joy? And so with these we covered last session, and we also talked about emotional action, moral emotions as the basis for the moral behavior. Yeah. So, and here I just want to say further on that sometimes we can't say mudita or express mudita because of this complexity that normally we have. Feeling of inferior, and then a feeling of equal and a feeling of a superior. In those cases, again, it's you can't feel the mudita. Okay? You can't feel the mudita. Inferior here basically means that you feel less, or you see others are less fortunate, or seeing that someone has done that is this is little bit, I can do better.
That's superior.
Sorry, yeah. Okay, so that so they have done this and I am lesser, I sad I can't do that, so that's the jealousy begins, and like that. So the same with the equal and think, I also can do that. So that also can't express the mudita. And in the meantime, superior complexity, that if someone has done a little bit and saying that I can do better, I can do more. Like someone gave a £5 donation, then I can do £10, like that. And that moment also, we cannot share mudita. And this is again the main reason of why we have a lot of trouble accepting other people, and imbalance in the emotion. And with that, do anybody wants to tell or share some stories about, let's say, inferior or equal and superior complexity? Any example that you come across? Mostly like someone posts, I think we discussed that on last session as well. Suppose someone posts that, we have done this donation to the temple, £100, and then somebody may be thinking, that's a little, wish I can do more, like that. So that's sort of a thought, inferior, or that's so anyone want to tell a story on this? Inferior, equal, and superior complexity.
Please, Achan, can you describe in short in Thai what does that mean?
Inferior รู้สึกเราทำไม่ได้ที่เขาทำก็ไม่สามารถที่จะแสดงมุดิตาได้ Equal เขาทำอย่างนั้นแล้วเราก็ทำได้ก็ไม่เราก็ไม่แสดงมุทิตา และ superior เขาทำแค่นิดเดียวเราทำได้เยอะกว่า อันนี้ก็ไม่สามารถที่จะแสดงมุทิตาได้
It's just like a mana.
Mana, yes, yeah. When you have that mana, you can't. Yeah. Okay. Anyone wants to share any stories on inferior, equal, or superior complexity?
Oh, yeah. So I think I can share this like in daily life, especially in the workplace. So maybe you guys they never come across this as a monk, but as a ordinary person. So actually we face this mudita, and then we feel inferior, equal, and superior. We're facing that the complexity every day from 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 waking up, for example, like because we live with different type of people, so people can think anything, right? And we have different upbringing as well, so that make people feel that. So sometimes like in the workplace, for example, if you get promoted, if you get promoted, and then actually some people might say to you that, oh, that's good, so congratulations, but actually deep down they may feel like inferior to that. So yourself as for yourself, if you want to be in the committee, so you need to down tone yourself as well to be to this is also my what I usually did as well. So down kind of to the down tone, so make other people feel that you're also inferior, to avoid jealousy, because later they can cause some danger or the disaster to your maybe work life or your career or your family, thing like that. So yep. Even your title as well, so you need to be very careful. So usually like my workplace doesn't like people who call that they are like doctor, or they are like assistant professor, associate professor, or professor. If especially professor, you need to be very careful. You just call it just yourself, just your name. Some people might feel that, hey, I think they actually know that that person who get promoted work hard, but they can't accept deep inside. So in workplace it's like this. I don't think it's only my workplace, but I heard people complain about this as well.
It's not only in workplace, it's in monks as well.
Really?
My experience as a layman is way more in the robes than outside.
Oh, okay. So that usually happen every day. So need to be careful.
Yeah,
Sometimes you need to, because when you see people who might be jealous, so when you are in front of them, so you just need to be like inferior. You just say, okay, sawatdee, okay, try to like show some respect a lot to them. But deep down they know that we may pretend to do it as well. But just to avoid the conflict. Yeah. Okay.
I think last session, Tan Tita Damo mentioned about the anxiety, the status anxiety as well. I think that comes here. Comes there as well. Status anxiety, feeling of that. So that also relates to there as well, right? So that's why it comes here an emotional imbalance or a deprivation. Right? And here is inferior and equal and superior is it's about the expression that you express on someone's success, and you can't, someone's status, then you can't. Then that moment you can't express the mudita. Eh?
So is that mean that actually this one is because of like atta, right?
Yeah.
Because of atta, so that's why you can't really express genuine like mudita to
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So that's why at the beginning I never thought I thought that mudita is compared to metta karuna is kind of easy to do, but actually now I don't think.
Oh, metta is the easiest one. Metta is the easiest one. Karuna is the second, and this is the third stage. And the last upekha is the highest one in within this Brahma Vihara. Yeah. So this mudita is checking about our ego, our knowledge, our success, our identity. Everything is coming here.
Our faith as well.
Even our faith, it's coming here. And then with that, we are comparing ourselves either inferior, equal, or superior. And in these cases, we cannot express this joy or rejoicing on someone's success. So that's why last session we did talk about when we are in a difficult situation, will you be able to say rejoicing on that?
I have a story on this. I think has anyone heard of Pottila? Tucha Pottila? He was a monk in Buddha's time.
What's his name?
What a famous story.
Tucha Potila.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And his friend.
Okay.
Are you going to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. What is that?
Tucha Pottila and his friend ordained together. But Tucha Pottila, I think Tucha Pottila's friend was a bit older, and there is two methods of working in the sasana. One is the Grantha Dura, and the other is Vipassana Dura. So Grantha Dura is concerned with preserving the texts and the word of the Buddha and sort of intellectual work, but also meditation as well. Whereas Vipassana Dura is completely dedicated to meditation and some knowledge as well, some Sutameya Jnana. So Tucha Pottila's friend said, okay, I'm too old now to memorize these texts, so I will use what little I know and I will go off and meditate. And so like this, Tucha Pottila, who was called just Pottila by then, by the way, he was Pottila, he dedicated himself really well to studying, to memorizing, to teaching, and he gained a lot of disciples and built a huge reputation as a truly learned monk, as a Bahusutta. But Tuchapottila's friend, he just went off and meditated and he attained to arahantship. But he had his own disciples, and but he lived a simple life as an arahant does. But Tuchapottila had all the things that a worldly person would have. And one day, Pottila's disciples came across one of his friend's disciples, and they talked a little bit about each other's teachers, and Pottila students were talking about how great and how knowledgeable my teacher is, how famous he is, and everything. And his friends, disciples didn't really, say much. So when his disciples came to him, Potila heard about his friend, and he decided to go and have a chat with him and show off his knowledge. Basically, just saying, look how much I've got, and what do you have? Instead of showing Mudita. So he went there and tried to show off his knowledge, and kept asking questions about the teachings, about the theoretical knowledge, about the philosophizing and everything. But Pottila's friend couldn't answer because he didn't really he's not an intellectual. However, so he started thinking he was superior, and it's like, what has this guy done? But Lord Buddha heard of this, and he came and said, Tuchapottila's friend is like the owner of the cows. He's like a owner of the cows. He gets to enjoy the ghee, he gets to enjoy the milk and the everything. But whereas you, Pottila, you are like one who looks after the cows. All you do is count the cows. That's all you can do, and you do get something out of it. You get your wages and everything, but you don't get to enjoy the fruits. So this monk is my son, and while you, Pottila, is Tucha Pottila. So that's the story. I think it's quite a lot of errors in it, but that's the gist of it. I thought this was quite a good lesson to remind ourselves of about what the Buddha's teaching is for simplifying ourselves, and for finding the ultimate joy of nibbana, but and not for acquisitions, and not for fame or recognition. And anyway, the story goes that Pottila went on and decided, okay, my friend, my Lord Buddha called my friend the sun, his son, and me Tucha Pottila. So he wanted to go and try and work towards Nibbana. So he went to this place with monks to learn. But when he approached the great master realized that this is someone with a huge ego, someone I cannot work with. It will be very difficult. So he said, "Oh, I'm busy right now. Go to this monk who was his junior, right below him." And this monk realized the same thing, and he just kept pointing at another monk. He just kept going and going and going, and eventually he got to a Samanera, and the Samanera was enlightened. And like so, he got passed down basically until he got to the Samanera, and the Samanera was like, he tested him by saying, "Okay, I can teach you to attain Nibbana, but you need to go jump in the mud pool." And so Portila, at that point, he really had the chanda, so he just went and tried to jump in the mud pool. So this teacher of such a great repute, such a great following, decided to humble himself in front of the Samanera in that way. And when he went to do it, the Samanera decided, okay, now he is ready. And so he started teaching him.
Okay. So that's the Tuchapotila, that's acquiring more knowledge but not understanding.
Yeah, he has got a nickname, Ajahn.
Yeah. What is that nickname?
It's a empty scripture. Empty scripture.
Empty
By Lan Plau.
Yeah. Empty scripture, yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so he was a person who acquired a knowledge but didn't understand or didn't practice. So that's how he was known as a Tuchapotila. But I forgot where it is coming from in relation to that Tuchapotila story. Okay. Anyway, okay.
From the Dhammapada, right?
No, I mean I know them, but I mean here.
Oh yeah, he didn't have mudita. Like if he showed mudita to his friend,
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
it's like the inferiority, the superiority complex.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Tuchapotila didn't appreciate his friend's success, yeah. Which is again similar to Devadatta as well. How Devadatta end the very tragic death, and because he was not able to rejoice on other fellow friends' success, and thinking that the Buddha praised Sariputta, Moggallana, Aniruddha, Ananda, even Upali, who used to be my servant, and now why nobody's praising me, and why nobody is coming to visit me. Uh-huh. And that also brought so many jealousy, envy, and even to cause to the death of the Buddha, which I think I mentioned this last session as well. So that's again this complexity arises, and nowadays this is the huge trouble in the modern world. Yeah, it's a huge trouble in the modern world. Yeah, and if everybody knows this complexity and learn to rejoice on others' success, then definitely the world will be a better place to live. Yeah. And I hope anybody remember why people can't rejoice furthermore. It's 4 agatis. Anybody remember 4 agati?
Oh, let's see.
Chanta kati,
Yeah.
Tosa
So,
kati, Moha kati.
yeah. So Chandagati.
Payakati.
Ah,
And Payakati and
Ayakati and
Mohakati.
Mohakati. And then
Tosa kati.
Tosakati.
Osakati. Okay.
Of them.
Oh, sorry.
That's true.
Oh, the Akati.
So in this case as well, we cannot rejoice on anyone else because of these agatis, yeah? Biasness. Remember we studied. So anyone wants to say anything on this agati for chanda agati? I will open another one. Chanda agati. Anyone wants to say anything on this 4 agatis?
It's what everything runs on.
Yeah.
Our everything. All the systems of government, economy, and religion.
Okay, so this is agati. Yeah. So this is agati. Yeah, the 4 prejudice and agati or biasness. Yeah. It's basically reaching what should not be reached. And this is a chandagati, and this type of a biasness leads one on the wrong path. So I like this person, that's why I promote. Rather than someone who is intelligent and capable, but I don't like. So that's another. And then a dosagati. Oh, he didn't like me. Oh, he hates me. So I don't want that person to go furthermore. So envious. Ill will then develops. And then a mohagati, foolishness, not knowing what is good and what is wrong. And also sometimes this mohagati can be in a way that our own ignorance about the situations, and that also can makes things wrong. And the bayagati, so out of a fear, a fear that if I do this, they will praise me. If I don't do this, they will not praise me. It's like nowadays, whenever somebody is promoted, somebody is promoted, then you have to go, although you may not want to. This is, if you don't go, then you are not in the community. You're not in the same herd. So you have to go and do it. So this is a bayagati.
Being a sheep.
Yeah. So these are the 4 agatis. Okay. And that 4 agatis is basically is the main point here, whether we are doing it because I like it or I'm doing it because it's the right to do. So whenever someone has done something good or succeed or accomplished, then that moment, would you go because you like it, or would you do it because it's a right to do? Which do you think? Right to do or like to do? And this is, I think, as Chunjit said, in a workplace, you may dislike to do, but you have to do. That is from Bayagati. Bayagati. If you don't do, you will be not friend with that group, and eventually you will get troubled.
It's like, it's no different from when you were school kids, yeah? It's like, you have to be part of the gang by doing the bad things.
Yeah. So that's why here a right thing, a righteous thing to do is we have to check our mental state. So here comes the Sigalovada Sutta. You remember, I think I mentioned about this last time as well. Sigalovada Sutta. So fulfilling your duty, that's the one thing. Whichever part you are playing, you have to fulfill the duty. And that not only the duty that you are fulfilling, you also need to bring into your mind and feel their success. Yeah. So it's not just a duty, okay? Not just a duty, but need to feel it. Feel that is the right thing to do. Okay? So this is what comes the real mudita. And this is why it comes in the Mangala Sutta. It's called a Garavocha Nivatocha. Garavocha Nivato. Yeah, Garavo and Nivato. Okay, this is the Mangala. Respect and honor. Okay, so that also comes here in the Mangala Sutta. And Garavocha Nivatocha, so being humble, as being like, and this humbleness comes from Singalavada Sutta and taking a responsibility on that, fulfilling one's duty. And this humbleness and this comes together, and that's how you will be able to rejoice. Doesn't matter that person is inferior than us, superior to us, or equal to us. In that case, we can show our mudita. So suppose according to Singalavada Sutta, we are a laborers. Then success of a boss, we should say, I'm so glad that my boss has succeeded or accomplished this.
What if he's successful because he doesn't give you good wages?
And that's another story. Okay, that's the boss's responsibility. Okay,
But what if he doesn't keep the responsibility?
so that's why that person's responsibility is nothing to do with us. It's you that you are expressing.
But then, like, you can feel mudita for them, but you can still quit and get another job.
Definitely, that's your action. See.
But what if in a society that says it's your duty to do that job no matter what? And there are so many societies that say that. Even especially in Asia, it's like it's like it's your duty to work for the company, even if it's not paying you, right? You still have to work and be happy for the success of the company. You know, like, but you're made to think that's your duty, but that's you're just trying to justify slavery. It's like in the Bhagavad Gita, that's what the same things they say. It's like, do not question the higher castes, and it's your place, so do your duty. It's all of that.
That's why the questioning is different, but your appreciation is different. Yeah. So according to Singalavada Sutta, doesn't matter which state you are in, you have to appreciate whenever someone's a success.
Okay.
But in terms of the status, that's again another story that you have to bring in.
Yeah. So be happy for their success, but get out.
If they treat us bad, right? Yeah, President Kai, I have some questions about this thing because in daily life, so for ordinary person, I think we found it's very difficult because especially the one between favorite and righteous, because as a human being, we are social animal, right? And then at some point, even this is something is right, but the group doesn't go with the something that is right. So it's quite difficult, right? And also our society somehow like they got some social biases or social concept, for example, or political concept like democracy. So you go with majority. So it very difficult nowadays that we do the right thing. Yeah, otherwise it will be like you are. That's why the world is very.
Yeah, that's why they according to this four agatis, the explanation says that if any organization wants to prosperity, have to overcome these four agatis. As soon as they can overcome these four agatis within the staffs, within the workers, they are working. Then
it's not going to happen though.
That's why this is it's like a democracy thing. It's a democracy. We're not going to have a peace. But this is like the concept that if you can, then this prosperity will be there.
Like, it's an ideal and it's a beautiful idea, but it's not realistic. Organizations will never. Organization only cares about increasing its power and influence. But it's like, as individuals, doing the right thing is hard, like, because the whole majority and the whole world tries to drag you out. So that's why the Buddha's teaching is, even if it's hard, you need to do it. Like it's sacrifice, yeah. It's like stream enterer. It's like it's someone who goes against the stream, right? It's like it's not the stream is going that way. The stream is going to hell. You need to cut through that. And the
Oh,
practice is
but
hard.
it's like a lot of conflict thing as well. Sometimes you heard some word that go with the flow, will make your life easier.
But that is not for the better future. So that's why I think here in the West, I would say majority of companies try not to have these four other things compared to probably in Asia, which will go mostly on the Chandagati or Bhayagati.
But there is though. Like,
It won't be able to complete unless you are Arhat, but at least here there is a system that will reduce it. And if you realize that this is going on against these ones, you can even take them to the court. So there is a law to prevent from it. That's why it's very subtle. You cannot see much. Which is compared to an Asian country, it's a very, very on the front.
But it's like when it comes to employment, I agree, but not when it comes to the operation of the companies. So, like, if you go and work for a weapons company, you can get a promotion based on your intellect, but not on Chandagati. But it's a weapons company, and they work on all the agatis. So, within society, you can never be truly ethical. Only as an individual.
That's why it needs to be understood that this is individual. So we take our responsibility of our action. We can't take responsibilities of others. So that's why these needs comes to the mudita is our action, not about anyone else. And this is how we are developing.
Should we be happy for the success of a weapons company, or like of a butcher?
Well, you can judge yourself.
I think equanimity is better.
You can judge yourself whether you want to show your the mudita to a person, and that's why you have to go back to the meaning here, saying no judgment. Saying regardless of circumstances. So that the moment when we are questioning, then you're already not able to mudita, express mudita.
Understood.
So righteousness is coming from your heart and knowing that this is right thing to do. It's not like I want because these are four agatis. So that's how the real mudita comes in this way from our own heart, and that leads to the Buddhist concept, which I will tell you until after the mudita. I said after upeka, which is the end of it, why it is that. So, and this is the mudita. Now, there are two types of mudita here, we can say, according to the Buddhist practices. Last time, I think we touched at the end about anumodana and mudita citta. Anumodana, anyone wants to say? I think we discussed a little bit on that anumodana last time. Okay. So this is, anumodana is basically anyone who has done any action which is wholesome, kusala kammas, and that could be done by physically, speaking, or mentally. Even the mental thing here regarded as well, but we do not see that, but we can take it only two, the physical and the mental wholesome actions. Then, having seen that action, we are saying Sadhu Anumodhana. Oh, okay, I need to put Sadhu Anumodhana. Okay. So these two words we can use to express our mudita. And again, we did mention that sometimes they just say out of a sarcastic way of saying, okay, sadhu, that is, may not be a real mudita, but still there is a sense of a mudita there. What about the opposite of it? Opposite of anumodana?
Envy.
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 Yes. Envy.
Envy.
Envy or even the jealous. Yeah.
Jealous.
J-E-O. Okay. So jealous, that's the opposite. At the moment when we can't appreciate it, then what happens? Then we become jealous and envious. And the second one is muditachi. That's why in particularly Thai tradition, whenever somebody succeed, accomplished something, people will go and visit and sending some cards and flowers and food and fruits like that. So that is a mudita chit. Yeah?
Money.
Yeah. Mudita chit. So that is, so the first sadhu anumodana is on the action, someone's action. Okay? And then mudita chit is result of that action or result of any action that one has accomplished or a success. So someone does good thing, even though a small thing, we say sadhu anumodana, then that's their action. And here accomplishments, something that they have succeeded. Education, suppose someone was studying bachelor's and succeed, and we go and appreciate on their accomplishment, saying, oh, congratulations. So that is the mudita chitta. Yeah? Or someone promoted and with a real mudita, we really want to rejoice in that person's success, is mudita chitta, not anumodana. Okay, mudita chitta. So that is, and the reason behind these is again is basically appreciate their good work. So, and then we can take an example of how good things they have done. And then that's the one, the sadhu anumodana. Second one is, oh, they have worked so hard to get that success, so I will work hard too. So it's become an example. And that's how the real mudita becomes the real pure mudita. Okay? Now think about these, how to practice. See, like, do you know this is Mother Teresa in India? Okay, Mother Teresa in India. And this is Abraham Lincoln in America. Okay, and then King Rama V in Thailand. And then this is the Buddha. Okay, so why do you think their statues are there? Why do you think the Mother Teresa statues is there in India? This is in India, Mumbai. Why do you think people erected this Mother Teresa's statue? Because to show the great work that she had done throughout her life, helping number of people, those who were needed, a lot of help. So that's why he is, she is venerated, and that's a mudita, seeing her success and her work. So whenever people come and see her statue, then they will ask why her statue is there. Then people will be happily telling her story, and whoever hears her story will appreciate. So this is out of a mudita there. Same thing with, let's say, King Rama the Fifth. Why do you think there is a King Rama the Fifth monument in Thailand? Huh?
It's because of his great work as well. For example, he freed a slave. So
Yes.
it's at the end of the slavery era in Thailand.
Yes. So he's the one who ended the slavery in Thailand. So that's why Thai people respect him as a great king. And that's why he's so much respected and so much venerated compared to any other kings. Okay, and that's because he gave a freedom. And same with Abraham Lincoln. Do you know any story of Abraham Lincoln, why his monument is so huge, established there?
Was president of the America, and
Oh.
he do the same as the Rama V.
Yes. So he was similar to King Rama the Fifth. That's why he is venerated, respected for his great work. And whoever visits, they will tell his story with a proud. And then whoever hears, they will be proud of it too. And then the Buddha, obviously, why we have so many Buddha statues. So that's again because of his work. So this is one way of practicing mudita on someone's great work. Now, how do we practice? How do you think you practice mudita? Maybe Chujit have experienced a lot. Every time someone succeeds, you have to go with the flower, you have to go with fruits.
Yeah, I think you can start from like small little things. For example, just like just say some word like congratulations to your friend's success, things like that. Maybe I think the one that I think is very useful is so usually I use this method as well, like to see the successful person as a role model.
Yes, role model.
And then you just like to, maybe you need to put an effort. So to do something like that in whatever your like objective, and then by the input, so you will see the result.
Okay.
See them as a model. That if they can do it, so maybe you can do it. They can inspire you, and also they can if you study their life or work, so you think that you need an effort to be successful, so you can be like them by doing the same thing.
So that is we call a mudita chit. So we express that and we take them as example, working towards a similar success, accomplishment. So that is the mudita chit. I used to read life stories of celebrities. like Ronaldo, the singers, Britney Spears,
Mm.
Leon, JJ, Jennifer Lopez. I used to read their stories, how they become a success, and after reading them, realize every one of them had a very bad childhood. Majority of them had a lot of struggle. They had to go through a very difficult time, a difficult life, and eventually, with their own hard work, eventually they succeed. And then that success is really, really great. So we have to rejoice in it. And some of them even become an idol for so many people. And then they become so famous and people following like that. And like there is a, who is Ronaldo? No, I forgot now. There's a one man who one footballer. I think I forgot the name now. Footballer. His life was also very bad when he was young, and his mother used to clean the stadium, and that's how he become Ronaldo, I think. Yeah, and then I think, and then later on he developed himself a feeling of good, and I can do it. So he never gave up, despite of hardship, and eventually he realized that his father was drunk and smoking, and as a result his father died out of it. He completely ignored these drugs and alcohols, and promote this not to taken. And not only that, he again promoted against drinking all the fizzy drinks. That's not good for your health.
Oh, okay. So I heard about this maybe about 2 weeks, right? When he was on telly, and then he just it has kind of Coca-Cola drink, so he
Yeah,
just put it and then say, "I just need water." I
yes,
think he
yeah,
said
right.
that.
Yeah, he basically, that is coming from the past difficult life and his
Okay.
father's tragic death. So he changed his mindset and promoting that these are not good for children. So he became ambassador for the children not to use any drugs, alcohol, and fizzy drinks. So these are examples that we can take, and most of the monuments that we see around is basically to appreciate the great job that they have done, and that's a mudita chit. If we can practice that, obviously our moods will be in balance, and there will be no sense of this complexities of inferior, equal, and superior, or maybe overcome this so-called that Titadamo explained about this status anxiety. We will be able to overcome that. And I remember a couple of years ago, I was attending interfaith meeting, and in that interfaith meeting, I was the only youngest person. I was the youngest person in that meeting. Everyone was senior, and we had a photo session. There was a few chairs, and I had this question of myself: I am a monk. I shouldn't be sitting on a floor. I should be sitting on a chair. What should I do? But again, I looked at it. Oh, I am a very junior here. Then why should I holding this concept of me as a monk identity? So then I immediately sat down on a floor, yeah? And then I took a picture, okay? And when I took a picture and posted on Facebook,
Oh,
And someone, immediately within 10 minutes got the message saying, Ajahn, you are a monk, you shouldn't be sitting on the floor. you should take you should take away that picture. Delete that picture.
Maybe it affected their faith.
Yeah. So that affected their faith immediately, and I was checking my own ego, my own identity and status. So like that. Okay. But again, anyway, so this is out of a story of a mudita. So next time, whenever we show our appreciation to anyone, we need to check our mental state. That are we doing it out of sarcasm, or are we doing it out of this favoritism or righteousness? Okay, and if we are doing it with a right mental state and a favorite, and a righteousness and the right thing to do, then we should do it, regardless of what is the situation. Yeah? So that is the real mudita. Okay. So that's a mudita is one of the very important factor in modern world, that if we can promote and if we can practice, definitely the society will be more harmonious and maybe more nicer. And also mudita basically means we are promoting people, those who are doing good things. Yeah? Promoting people who are doing good things. So with that, basically means we are promoting good things for new generation. So new generation will see these are the good things that one should do, and we should practice like that. So if all the televisions are only promoting about these things, the children will learn that too. And that's how there will be a mutual respect and a mutual harmony develops. Sadly, it will not be the case nowadays. Okay. And then this is how one should start. Yeah. So the first one should not start with a dear person. To start the mudita, dear person, neutral person, hostile person, opposite sex, and dead ones. So these are the 5 categories that one should not practice to start off this mudita. Okay? Because the dear person, if we are expressing our mudita, that can be chandagati. Yeah? It's very easy to fall into this chandagati. And a neutral position, that's just you don't have that feeling. You don't have that feeling. So in the hostile, that may be coming from this dosa. Okay? And these are the opposite, and the dead ones are like a moha. So that's why it's not a proximate cause for the mudita to arise in our hearts. Okay? And here, the starting of a practice of mudita, first of all, we have to overcome the sense of a jealousy and a resentment towards someone's success or someone's deed that someone has done. So that's why if we look at it, even the Buddha said, never look down on even a small donation that one has given. Yeah, even a small donation that one has given, never look down. Yeah. So, and here, and then and the ways to start is a dear companion, yeah, and then a hostile and oneself. So here, quite interesting one, a mudita to yourself, and this is also quite important in this modern day. People can't appreciate their own success. They judge their own success, and as a result, there is this mood deprivation there, the lacking of confidence,
Comparing.
So this mudita also, we have to appreciate our success. Doesn't matter how big or how small that is. If you think that you have done something, be appreciate that one. My father used to say that you don't have to work all day, but do not stop working. So you don't have to work all day, but do not stop working, and appreciate that what you have done. So that is my father always said to all of us. So appreciating whatever you have achieved. Okay, and here the proximate cause is a very dear companion. And so and here the practice of the mudita is, you may see that that person has done good things, or you may hear that that person has done good thing. In that case, again, you're saying sadhu, 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 or anumodana. And then I think I did mention about the past, past action, present action, and future action. So present action, a success and happiness of someone, then we say anumodana. And a past action, a good companion was happy in the past, was successful in the past, and in this case, we are thinking of their past, and we are sending that mudita, practicing that mudita. And here, not only the success, it's about the wealth. This is supposed to be fame. Okay, this is fame. And he was always glad and happy. So we rejoice in that person's gladness and happiness and fame that he had in the past. So with that, we again appreciating he was once that in that state. And the future again, we are thinking that this in the present moment he may not be, but we know that the history says he had or she had been very successful and accomplished. So we are sending our mudita or practicing mudita. May he again enjoy that gladness and success in the future. So that is also another way of practicing the mudita. Okay. So this is the end of a mudita practice. Okay. Anyone wants to say anything before we close for today on mudita? No?
Okay.
So next session we will talk on equanimity. Okay, that's upekha.
Equanimity.
So upekha. And now before we end, anyone wants to share any stories or anything wants to ask or tell, share, go on. So not okay.
Actually,
No one.
there was one point, Ajahn.
Yeah.
I want to share about it.
Okay.
About the Potila.
Oh, okay.
At the end of that story, it was quite interesting. May Tita Thamo told that story at the last point when the Potila got enlightened, noble being, success, a noble being. Do you remember?
No, go on. You can teach us.
No, actually, I was thinking that at the last, when the Samnera novice was just like a testing to the Potila, and then when he agreed to go down the muddy pool, when he said to go down at the muddy pool, and then Potila just did what the novice asked to the Potila, right? And then what happened was near that pool there was one just like the home of the bug, termites, not the bugs, termites, right? And then at that termites home, what we call the termites home of the termites, puok, chom puok.
Termite mound.
Okay, termite mound. Termite mound. There was a 6 hole at that termites mound. Okay, and then when the novice saw that termite mounds, and then he have an idea that how to teach to the Potila. And then when he just point to that termite mounds and then asked to the Potila monk, Acharya, that Acharya, do you see that termite mounds? And then he replied that, yes, I saw that termite mounds. And then do you see how many hole are there in that termite mounds? Actually, there was 6 hole. And then he just described just like that. And then actually the novice asked to the monk that if there was one small what we call just like a lizard, one small lizard went inside that hole, then how do you catch that lizard? And then actually the monk Potila monk is very sharp in his panya wisdom, and he actually gave the answer that if we want to catch that lizard, then we have to just like close the 5 hole first and open only the 1 hole, and we have to wait until the lizard came out from that hole, and then we will catch that lizard. And then monk replied, that novice told to that monk again, and yeah, same like that. Just like we have a 6th sense in our body, yeah, eyes, nose, ear, just like all 6 senses, we have to close our 5 senses first, and then we have to just be careful of our mind. And then when he just did that little hint, and then he just like he began to practice a meditation at that time, vipassana meditation, and he just enlightened at that time as a arhat.
Nice
Good. Nice story to end for today. Yeah, we'll see you day after tomorrow. So thank you everyone, and we'll see you day after tomorrow on Upekha. Make sure you prepare some stories on Upekha. Okay. Sadhu, Anumota.